right, so my Wrangler is a 2014. It has 21,000 miles. I drive it to work every day, but I only live less than 10 minutes away. I do have a 2.5-inch rough country lift and a set of 20-inch wheels with all-season tires on it. No other modifications really besides that. I just had my first death wobble. If you have never had a death wobble in a Chrysler product, consider yourself lucky, because it is scary as hell. I'm going 65 miles an hour on the highway, and all of a sudden you get a small shake, which turns into an insanely huge rumble. The steering wheel goes crazy. A death wobble is insane, and it does not stop. Literally, I slowed down from 60 to 5 miles an hour, and I still got the death wobble at 5 miles an hour. It feels like you're going to crash into something and lose all control. It's insane. Now, this is a 2014 Jeep Wrangler with 21,000 miles. I've had it in old Durangos, I've had it in old Grand Cherokees, I've had it in Dodge Rams, and those are 98s, 99, 2005s, older vehicles. I'm in a 2014, and Chrysler is still doing death wobble. If you've never seen it, look it up. It's terrifying. But that's just one more thing that I absolutely freaking hate about my Jeep Wrangler. I'm trying my hardest not to swear right now. I'm 50-50 on how much I love and how much I hate this effing Jeep. So I got my second death wobble. Absolutely terrifying, 70 miles an hour, and it literally does not stop. When you hit the brakes, it gets worse, and then I have to come to a complete stop on the side of the highway before it actually ends. I got going again, my power steering pump went. 20,000 miles, power steering pump went right after the death wobble. That's actually the second power steering pump I've put in my 2014 Jeep with 21,000 miles. I want to say that I love Jeeps because I can tow and I can plow and I can go to the beach and I can fit my kids in it and I can go through snowbanks with it. It's awesome. But the fit and finish work and the quality of a Jeep Wrangler is absolutely disgusting. Never mind the rust issues that it has and the frame rot. The finish work and the quality that my Jeep is made with is just absolutely disgusting. So way to go, Jeep. You really make a great product. The wiper transmission on these is incredibly weak, motor transmission, whatever you want to call it. So if there's anything in the way, like if it snows, the wipers don't work at all. They don't even ice, forget it. They're not going to happen. This got stuck here, so you'll see how easy it is for me to push them down. So I have to readjust the wipers, recalibrate, put them back in place from time to time. It's a real pain in the butt. So when I bought my Jeep Wrangler, it only came with the color matched white hardtop. I bought the premium top, which is the fabric, not the vinyl, from Jeep itself. So this is a factory fabric premium soft top. I bought it last spring. It's now 1 year later, spring. I went to put my window on. Now I put these away nicely. I went to put my window on for the first time this season, and I noticed this right here. It's splitting at the seam. Literally 1 year old. And I used it for 7-8 months because it comes off in the winter. So I'm hoping it's under warranty, who the heck knows, but it's still disappointing. So here's another thing I hate about my Jeep Wrangler. It was 30 degrees yesterday and everything froze, and now it's thawing, which is okay. But if you go on the inside, you'll see that my windows are frozen on the inside. My visor's leaking. Focus. My visor's leaking. You can see the white spots. But also, if you look at my Freedom roof, this is all water. All water. So I get in my 2014 Jeep with 19,000 miles, and the freaking thing drips on my head the whole time I'm driving. Or I have to keep a towel in here to wipe it down. You can see the water right there. To wipe it down before I sit in here. And it also gets on my seat. You can see the seat right there. You can see the water up here. It's all the way in the back. This thing has 19,000 miles on it. And it's soaked on the roof and dripping. And it's not raining out, it's beautiful out. You can see the sun. Beautiful out. Everything's melting. And somehow all the moisture rose to the ceiling, froze, and now it's thawing and dripping onto my seats. Today's the perfect day to tell you everything I hate about my Jeep Wrangler, because we got 18 inches of snow last night. So for For how much snow we got, it's moving around okay. However, the thing that I absolutely effing hate about my Jeep Wrangler is the traction control. You can see I'm in four-wheel low right now. Four-wheel low, traction control off. I'll put it in drive. You can see I'm aiming at a tree because the thing slid all over the yard. All right, the engine revs. Now, I want to go in reverse. Let me just give it some gas. You will hear that the car does not rev. It doesn't rev. Now it does. But when I want it to just go, when I want to just hit the gas and go, it won't do it. It takes a minute. There's a delay. That is frustrating. So I can't just move forward. Perfect example. Here we go. Drive forward. Here we go. I'm going to put it in reverse. Slow, 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 slow. I'm flooring it right now. I'm flooring it. Oh, there we go. There's the engine. Now it's kicking in. Thank you so much, Jeep. Here's another thing that I absolutely despise about my Jeep Wrangler. Has remote starter. Push door lock twice, it beeps. Push remote starter twice, it beeps. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, right. Nothing. Because sometimes it just doesn't work. So if it's 0 degrees outside and I'm in the house and I want to use it, sometimes it just doesn't work. It doesn't do it. I have noticed that if the door is cracked maybe just a little bit, so if my kids get out and don't shut the doors all the way, the remote starter doesn't work. I have no other reasons otherwise. I did have it running today already once, so if I want to start it again twice, it doesn't start twice. I wonder maybe if I unlock it, relock it, start it twice. Right. So I guess you can't use the remote starter twice on a Jeep Wrangler. Now my Escalade, already had that running today. Oh, look at that. That one will do it, but my Wrangler won't. Nice, good design. So I got my Jeep Wrangler this morning just to show you one more thing that I hate about my Jeep Wrangler that only has 20,000 miles on it. I started the remote starter because it's still cold out. Car didn't start. Door's locked, car doesn't start. Couldn't figure out why. Tried it when I got outside, same thing, doesn't start. So I get in the car and I noticed that the car is still in drive. So with my Jeep, I don't know if all of your Jeeps are like this, but you can do this. Let's put the car in drive, shut it off, take the key out. It's still in drive. So it can roll forward, it can roll back, whatever. It shouldn't be able to do that. In most cars, you're not able to take the key out if the vehicle's still in drive. It should beep if I open the doors, whatever. But for some reason, this Jeep, obviously it won't start if I have it in drive, but it'll let me take the key out. Just one more thing I hate about my 20,000 mile Jeep Wrangler. Actually, while we're on the topic of things I hate about this Jeep Wrangler, again, it's a 2014, 20,000 miles. It's April 2018, so it's only 4 years old. I've replaced 3 power steering pumps. 3 power steering pumps in this thing. Granted, I do plow with it, but that shouldn't make me have to replace 3 power steering pumps. I don't have a plow router, and I do my driveway in a small little parking lot. If you look here, the car's cold, I just started it. Now it's working. But if I go put it in reverse, I'm gonna try to take a sharp turn. You'll see how choppy the steering wheel is. I'm actually struggling to turn it. Now I'll go right. Now I'll go left. It does move now, but typically it's like, so if I'm at a stop, the power steering works fine if I'm moving, but if I'm at a stop and I want to turn, it's choppy. So it's almost like bit by bit it moves, and I actually have to struggle. This is with a new power steering pump that I put in last week. I got one. I don't know what's up with it. I got one from the parts store. I put it in, and I still had 0 power steering fluid. The rack is fine, the lines are fine, we bled it out. I still had no power steering fluid, so I replaced it with another pump, different brand, and now I have power steering, but it's super choppy. No idea why. So if you guys ever have these problems with your Wranglers, let me know. Comment below, because it's driving me absolutely insane. I can't take a turn from a stop. It's ridiculous. I ended my phone call over 30 seconds ago. It just shut off on my Bluetooth on the screen. And also, when I get a call through my Bluetooth or my Uconnect, I hit answer on my phone, so my phone button will actually say like answer or ignore. I'll hit answer and it doesn't pick up on my Bluetooth. I just sit and wait, and it keeps talking to me through my Uconnect. Phone call from whoever's calling. So if I hit answer on my Uconnect, it answers slightly quicker, but there's still a pretty unacceptable delay. It's frustrating every time. This one luckily doesn't do it, but my last Wrangler did. I can put the gas pump in the tank, keep pumping, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps flooding out. Doesn't matter what gas station I'm at, it always did it. This one luckily stops when it's supposed to stop, but my previous 2008 Wrangler, it used to just keep pumping, and it would spill out over the edge almost every time if I wasn't paying attention. Just another thing I hate about Jeep Wranglers. Just something else I hate about my Jeep Wrangler. It's raining out. I'm gonna open my door, and every time I open it, I get a big dump of water right to my floor. Awesome. Great design. All right, so let's talk about the soft top. This is the premium soft top, which means it's a fabric top, not the canvas top, which I love, and it looks good. It's a heck of a lot easier to put on because what I do is just close the top. When I close the top, it's watertight. Versus the canvas top, I actually have to fold each one over, and it's a lot of work. I do have trouble sometimes with the canvas. Again, you have to peel it in and really pinch it inside there and pry it in, and it's a lot of work. This isn't so bad. It kind of just folds over into a 90 degrees and tucks in, so it's not awful. I do like the canvas top a heck of a lot more than the vinyl top. It zippers in pretty easily, and it Velcros pretty easily. And this is watertight. What I don't like is this section right here. So let me zip these down. I'm gonna zip this side down. I'm gonna zip this side down. Okay, now it's zipped down. I wanna get into the back. All right, well, all's good. The door opened. All right, but I can't see inside because it's all zipped up. So I then have to unzip one side, unzip the other to get in and see what's going on in there and grab whatever I need. Otherwise, I'm tucking my whole head in underneath like this to try to get what I need. It's not really ideal. The other thing is the window will just bend over, clip in here. It'll fold over here. Apply a little bit of pressure. So now I'm going to shut the door. The door is shut. Oh, wait a minute. I have a gap right there that I'm not able to zip down. Oh, wait, what about this side? Oh, I have a gap here that I'm not able to zip down. Okay. You look here. It's lined up there, and it's lined up here. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. I could unzip this, undo the windows, and pull everything over if I wanted to tighten it up, or just suffer and leave it. The other thing, okay, so it rains. It runs down the window, runs down the window. Oh, look at this. Where's it gonna go? Awesome, right there. So it's gonna go right there, leak into this pocket, and underneath that pocket, it's gonna leak under the plastic into there, and that's your floor jack, or your car jack, which is gonna get all rusty as well. So I actually had to drill some holes in there so the car would drain properly. They do make a piece that goes right here that this flips into or slides into as well, so you can actually kind of see right here that it slides through. It's not easy, and then you can't open this door. So what do you want? You want to not be open the door at all, or do you want it to leak in? You decide. That's the choice. Back to the top again. I don't have the problem as much as the 07 to 2012s do, but you'll see my latches right here. They touch my visor. This one too touches my visor, so I actually have to pull my visor out of the way a little bit to do my roof latches. In the 07 to 2012, you can't even open your latch with your visor in place. So normally you'd flip your visor down. I can do this, but you can see it still barely touches. 07 to 2012, you can't even open it. It touches the visor. You have to move the visor out of the way. That's a problem that they've kind of solved. The other thing is when I open the doors and it's raining out, rain just dumps on me from here. All right, another thing about my Jeep Wrangler. It hasn't rained in 2 weeks. Okay, so this is just something I'm used to now. It hasn't rained, everything should be dry. I'm gonna lift up my floor mat, and there's moisture on the bottom of the floor mat, and the floor is wet. It's just a constant, permanent wetness. With the rubber mat in, it's permanently wet all the time because they never dry. With the rubber mat out, you just have wet carpets all the time, that your feet are always touching wet carpets. Another thing, you'll see how clean my frame is. It's not because it's that way from the factory. I had to do a paint over rust coating on my frame because it was disgusting how rusty my 15,000 mile Jeep Wrangler was. You can see how clean it is. It looks beautiful. That's because of me, not because of Jeep. Usually up here, it gets all crusty and corroded, which it really always does. Mine, I was forced to do an anti-corrosion rust protectant for that reason. So my frame is amazing because I hand scraped the whole thing down and then did a paint over rust product on the whole thing. You can see a picture right now after this clip of what my frame looked like before I painted it with 14,000 miles. It was only 2 or 3 years old. Last thing I can really point out is this antenna. You can see how loose it is. I'll hand tighten it, and I'll tighten it too with a wrench at some point, but it just loosens back up and then it rattles. So when I'm on the highway, it'll spin loose. You can see me just hand spinning it. I'll tighten it with a wrench, but it loosens itself back up and then it rattles. So it'll be on the highway and you can just hear it doing that as you're going down the highway. You'll see here, you can't really tell, but this light is missing the cover because my kids will put stuff in the back and it automatically, whatever they put, goes back here and the cover falls off. So the cover just falls down, or if the cover doesn't fall down, it gets pushed in and turns the light on, so the light will stay on all the time. So I know what you guys are all gonna say. Yeah, you plow with your Jeep, you tow with your Jeep, of course things are gonna fall apart or break. That's not the case. I own a repair shop. Everything I own is maintained very regularly. I have it detailed at least once a month, and we have annual state inspections that check ball joints and tie rods and front end components and emissions, everything. We check everything, tires and brakes, annually. My Jeep is absolutely cherry and I take care of it, and it's still falling apart with only 20,000 miles. So my question to you guys is, especially all the Jeep owners, what kind of problems have you guys had with your Wranglers? What should I expect to happen further than even what's happening now? What are some of the problems that you guys have seen? Have you ever had the death wobble? Because like I said, it's absolutely terrifying. What kind of fixes have you done to repair that? Because my front end is tight, so I don't know what the heck is actually causing it. Comment below, let me know all the things you hate about your Jeep. I'll do another video about what I like about my Jeep another time, and we can talk about that stuff with you guys later. But for now, I want to know what you guys hate about Jeep Wranglers. Comment below, let me know. Like my videos, that way it gets shown to more people, and subscribe if you thought this was at all interesting. I always appreciate the views and the follows and the subscriptions. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Thanks a lot.